Another body horror so soon? Yep. And, yeah, we need to talk about this one. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Grafted, which just hit Shudder last night, and you can watch for yourself. Now, this is a movie that was directed by Sasha Rainbow. This is her first directorial debut, and there's some good and some bad here that I want to talk about. But first, what is it all about? Well, it's essentially about this girl who's a super smart girl whose father was a scientist and dies tragically doing some sort of experiment with skin grafting. It goes horribly wrong, and of course she tries to save him, but alas, she can't. Fast forward to the future, she gets moved to New Zealand as an exchange student to live with her aunt, who has a daughter of her own. Now, of course, she follows in her father's footsteps to try to fix the science that he was working on. And of course, she's a little awkward and having a little trouble acclimating into a new world with all these new people who aren't exactly treating her the best, and things get a little bit out of control. This movie is hard for me to tell you everything about it and what is wrong with it, as well as what I liked about it, so it's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag. This obviously is a movie that has a lot of body horror elements in it. There's a lot of skin stuff, a lot of piercing, a lot of blood, a lot of guts, there's limbs, there's just about everything in it, and it's actually shot pretty competently and acted fairly competently as well. There's a little bit of style, I feel, thrown into the movie that kind of injects it with this sort of vibe about it. It does feel a little rushed, like the story kind of just jumps over some of the stuff that you might want to piece together in your brain to make it plausible. So you'll have to suspend your disbelief many times in this movie in order to really enjoy it. But I think some people will be able to do that, others will not. So far, it seems like a lot of people really like it, but I did have some complaints. There are some moments in the film with the acting that I thought didn't match up with what they were trying to do in the movie, and I can't explain to you why that is, because then it would reveal a huge plot point in the movie that is kind of unveiled to you in the middle of the movie, and I can't do that. So just understand that there are people acting like other people in this movie, and they do not do a good job of acting like those people, in my personal opinion. There is a very large disconnect with the characters in this movie, and it really kind of hurt the film in a lot of ways. And maybe this is just, first feature film woes, or, not having enough money, or not being able to find the right people, or, the acting is decent, but there's some things that acting and video just can't cover up or change in your mind that just doesn't fit. And this movie has a hard time of doing that. That said, there is still an element of suspense in this movie and fun that I still enjoyed. So it's really weird that I'm able to kind of overlook these glaring flaws that really kind of put divots in the movie experience. I think it's in part to do with the music that is done by Lachlan Anderson in this, who does a really good job of blending a lot of really new, kind of modern sounds with a frenetic vibe about it. It's like this, pumping atmosphere that really just kind of keeps the pace of the movie kind of flowing. I understand that this movie couldn't just, go as slow as that, like the movie already is like an hour and a half, hour and 36 minutes technically. It couldn't really have spaced out all those parts because it would have lost that sort of vibe and atmosphere. So I get the balance. I just think that there's some flaws in this that, try as they might, they could not cover them. But this does end up in some familiar territory where some people are saying it reminds them of The Substance. And yes, it is a body horror movie. And yes, they do some pretty funky, weird, crazy stuff by the end of the movie, but I don't think it's exactly the same. It's definitely not in that level. Okay, so just lower your expectations a little bit there. This is a decent movie. There was some moments in it that I just did not buy. I couldn't suspend my disbelief, but somehow the movie propelled me through to the end of the movie anyway, which is very super fucking rare, let me tell you. I can see the good and the bad in this, and I see a lot of promise with this director. I think she's really talented. Maybe this isn't like the breakout movie. Maybe it will get her more notoriety, but I think the big one's going to be coming in the future with another film. I like that this director kind of goes for it. I really appreciate that, because it's not worried about every single thing, but some things you just gotta taper back a little bit, and some of the like mixture of the cast in what they were trying to accomplish in this movie just really took away from my experience a little bit. But there's still a lot to be had that is good in this film, and I do enjoy just a schlocky, fun, good time. The acting and the like camera work and the way things looked did not feel schlocky, but just those moments that I'm talking about that I can't really nail for you and say and explain really take away from it. So just be wary of that going into this film. Now, as far as the gore goes and all the like effects and stuff that they do in it, there is some practical in it, and there also is some stuff that they can't do, but they do as much as they can practical and then add CGI on top of it. I don't think it's that bad. I think it actually looks pretty cool, does a decent job, and by the end, you know, the end is pretty fucking awesome, even if it does feel a little familiar. But yeah, the practical effects are here. It isn't just, you know, the grossest film of the year, but there are some moments that made me a little squeamish to look, like jamming things in places that you're just like, oh God, I don't want to. Yeah, but it's not that bad. It's not like an exploitation film that you've seen, like one of the most disturbing films, you know. It's got some good stuff in there. Everybody has their own tastes, everybody has their own grievances, and everybody's willing to accept flaws in movies sometimes more than others. But even though this has those flaws, I still enjoyed the movie, and I would give this movie at least a 6 out of 10. It's weird because, you know, it could have been so much better in my opinion as far as plausibility, but it still has a lot of goods in it to really carry you through to the end. And I think you might enjoy it, as a lot of other people are enjoying it as well. They're saying, you know, it has its flaws, but, you know, I still enjoyed it. And I can say the same is for my experience. You know, I look forward to seeing what this director does in the future. I'm an absolute fan of Lachlan Anderson's music, by the way. Holy crap, was the music good in this movie. It was like a mix of so many different genres, and the way that he mixed up the score a little bit. I don't know. There's a team of people, I guess, that worked on the score, so everyone who was involved, good job. Sasha Rainbow, I think, did a good job too. I just want to see more. I think there's going to be something that's going to go pretty wild in the future that they do and is really going to pop off. But yeah, not a bad film. I just didn't buy everything. You should see it for yourself to see if that's for you, that it may be different for you. But I don't know, there's something about it. I really liked it. I wish it could have been better, but you know, I still enjoyed it overall. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This movie's available on Shudder or AMC Plus if you want to watch it there. I highly recommend doing it and seeing where you land, because this one's a weird one to fucking review, man. I don't even know. Maybe if I watch it a second time, it'll go up or something. I don't know. I appreciate you guys coming by the channel and rocking it like you have been. Holy crap, welcome all of our new subscribers. You guys are the best. I absolutely love this community. You guys are commenting down in the comment section are some of the best commenters. Every now and then we get a few, you know, stray people that just don't get it, maybe don't belong in the group, but you know, for the most part, all of you have been just really pleasant, offering suggestions for other movies and just the excitement of horror, and I really appreciate all of you for that. So welcome, thank you. Let's fucking rock this new year out with some brand new horror and celebrate it together. But thanks again for coming by, and as always, long live the void.